What's going on, guys? Spartan Willie here, and welcome back to our McLaren Motorsport Manager F1 2021 Manager Mod Save Season 2. So today is the big one, the Monaco GP. First of all, I hope you're having a fantastic evening or day wherever you're watching this and whatever time you're watching this. But yes, Monaco today is going to be a bit of rain as well in the race, which hopefully will make things very interesting. Hope we can get a 1-2 finish if we're lucky and we play our cards right. But suspension done in 22 hours, Monaco in 10 days, that's exactly what I like to hear. Also, I just want to quickly say, make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoy it and consider subscribing if you're not already. Road to 1,000 is well and truly on. And comment any thoughts, feedback, suggestions down below. You will be featured in tomorrow's videos. So straight into designing a new part here, and we're going to go with a big one. We're going to jump into an engine upgrade, just so we have two equal or somewhat equal engines with both our cars to give Ricciardo that little bit of boost in the championship race, so he can secure second place, or at least as close to it as possible. So we're just going to build a pretty basic engine, and hopefully that will be done. Well, it's going to be done in 18 days. On the improved part side, we're going to keep working on the gearbox, as the gearbox is important around here. But as that gearbox will surpass the performance of the other one, we're going to give it to Lando, or should we give it to Ricciardo? Should we give Ricciardo some good parts just until we get that second car up to scratch? Let's have a look at the brakes really quickly. Yeah, let's switch them around. Give Ricciardo the slightly better brakes. There's not much between them, but he's going to have the better gearbox and better brakes. So I don't think it's going to disturb Lando's domination too much, but it's going to give him that little bit of an edge in his championship fight. Alright, Q3 at the Monaco GP, and there's plenty of storylines to follow. Yes, there is the rain. So rain did sneak into Q2, made things a little bit interesting. I honestly didn't even check for it. Again, I'm getting a bit slack with the weather, but this time I check, and there's no point going out to start this qualifying session. We'll go out right at the end. Hopefully we got maximized the track grip. And another storyline is that Ricciardo was actually first in Q2 and Norris was second. Now, Norris does have the new suspension. I remember to do the reliability, so he has the best suspension on grid yet again. And also, we've got to better send him out. I've left this a bit late, but it'll be fine. We'll get them both out in time. If all goes well. But I did switch back around the gearboxes, so Norris now does the good gearbox as well, and yeah, they both made it across the line. Yeah, I was just worried that if we gave too much to Ricciardo, it would come back, but he's still got the better brakes, I believe, and that may have given him that little bit of performance boost to challenge Norris. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens today. And as you see there, they've actually swapped positions. And I honestly, that's not my intention at all. I feel like I've changed more parts than I must have. I mean, I'm confused, as you can tell. I don't really know what I'm saying right now, but okay. Anyway, onto the race. We'll see what happens. Alright, onto the race, and the new found pace from Daniel Ricciardo is going to be very interesting. I wonder, yeah, what the race will tell. Let's have a look. Race stream, soft, light-footed. And yep, strategies. Took me a while to get the strategies right this weekend, if I'm being honest. Lots of tweaking. But let's go forward here. And we're going to ride on board Ricciardo because he's the leading driver. And rain will strike at about the 22nd lap. So something to remember. And looks like it's a pretty okay start from Ricciardo. We're going to switch back to Norris, see where his pace is at. Because I'm quite frankly very interested to see what happens here. We're going to go with a bit more zoomed out approach to the start of this race. This Daniel Ricciardo just completely forgets that there's a corner there, and he will get a penalty for that. No, he didn't. Okay, no penalty for Ricciardo, despite him clearly cutting a corner. I guess he didn't have that much of an advantage. As Nico Hülkenberg is leading this race, quite bizarre, but good on him. I was wondering what his performances would improve to, but I guess we got our answer. First place. No, Ricciardo's already taken the lead of this Grand Prix, but Norris still in the pack. So he's got two Red Bulls and a Mercedes to clear before he can worry about Ricciardo. And we're going to have to check the parts because this is quite bizarre. I think I only switched the brakes. That's like a 13 performance difference. So I don't know, maybe something about that brake pad just makes you insane at driving. But right now Norris up into P3. He's got one more car to clear before Ricciardo's any worry. And he's quite close to doing that as well. We'll stay on board with him here. Hopefully he can make a run at him soon. Sooner rather than later would be great. But it does seem to be eking out that little bit. We're going to zoom forward. He's still pushing. Oh, that's Ricciardo. He's still pushing on the tyres as well. They're not quite in the optimal range yet anyway, so don't worry about that. And I actually think the AI might have to stop between now and the wet period, which would be detrimental to their race strategies. We're going to tell our boys to go easy on the tyres. because we want to make sure we get there. We should. I mean, with light-footed, we can pretty much go very far. And yeah, they're either going to be on dead tires or they are going to stop before the wet period because they got 29% on their race tire already, which is not really that quick, to be honest. Still plenty of time to go, so we will inherit first and second. Well, we'll inherit second. We already got first. But that being said, they're going to have a lot of pace coming into the end of this period, so we're going to tell them to just smash these tyres in the ground, and it's going to be interesting to see how this little battle at the front develops. Ricardo right now has 8 seconds clear. He's had a bit of a head start because, of course, Norris had to work his way through the pack after, I mean, he only had 1 lap, so it's quite easily to write it off to he just had a bad lap. He did say he made a mistake, but you can't always take what they say in those little radio message too seriously, but he seems to be closing down that gap, so a little bit of an inner teammate rivalry here brewing, maybe not rivalry, but competition, which is great to see. And the track is starting to rain. Of course, we're not using team orders. I've said that earlier for entertainment purposes. That's what I was trying to say. No team orders will be used this season or in any of my series, unless maybe a championship battle's taking place. But they want to come in for inters now, so we'll bring them in. And by championship battle, I mean like last day kind of stuff. You know, you need a certain points finish. Maybe we'll let them through then. But for now, they're going to come in for the inters. They're going to double stop. Hopefully, all goes well. There's about 7 seconds between him, so it's going to take one big mistake to mess this up. And that is the perfect setup for them to make a mistake now, isn't it? No. Alright, 1.898. That's good. And then Lando's is a 1.938. We really cannot argue at all with that. As they drop. They drop a little bit after the pits because not everyone came in. Ricardo didn't. He's staying out, and out in first rather. But because we pitted a bit earlier, our inters aren't going to be as nice come the end of this wet period. And of course, we don't have light-footed on these ones. We only have light-footed on the softs. So we're on the same tyre wear as everyone else, tyre wear rate rather. But we'll see what happens. We're going to go to conserve just from the get-go here to make sure we get to the end of this wet period on this set of tyres. Alright, so I'll bring you back when we're about to go on slick tyres, and this is going to be quite the finale as we jump, both drivers will jump onto the softs. And Lando's cut down the gap to 3.9 seconds. At one stage it was 2 seconds. I was about to bring the video back until Lando dropped back down again. So hopefully this double stack won't hurt Lando's race rather. It won't really hurt Ricardo if he has a slow stop. But, well, won't hurt him too much because he's got such a lead and he doesn't have to pit. But here's Ricardo coming in. Hopefully another great start from our great pit crew doing absolute bits this season. And now it's free game, fair game. I'm not going to intervene just on the fuel side. We don't want to run out of fuel. We're going to give them the exact same strategy, engine mode and on the driver style. So let's go, let's have a look. 12 times, no, let's put it in 2 times for a bit. By the way, if you want to do this in your game, it's the Speed Manager mod. All the mods I use are in the description below. I did go in more depth about it on Season 1, but of course this is Season 2, so that is... And to be honest, I forgot. This is just how I play Motorsport Manager for the last couple of years, so I forgot that not everyone's game's like this, but I must say it does help out a lot. And now the tyres are overheating, we get no special pace once they overheat for pushing. I only found that out recently when I saw it in the main menu, it told me that. So let's just go on a completely neutral driving style, and this could be the first race that Lando doesn't win. The Australian Daniel Ricciardo could win the Monaco Grand Prix, the one that, he's won recently. Redemption Day, we all love that. I mean, I think everyone loved it. I don't know, I was Australian, so I definitely loved it. But around the roundabout here, and I do like this track, it has to be said. It's a very nice track. And it does seem to rain here quite a bit, so it makes it even more fun. But Lando closing down on Ricciardo. Let's just make this an absolute attack fest. Put him on high inch mode. We are risky DNF here, but hey, let's have a bit of fun towards the end of this Grand Prix. 2 laps to go. Lando really wants that 5th race win. Ricciardo really wants his first. It's final lap territory, boys. Let's have a look. Lando, not looking like he's going to get anywhere close to Ricciardo. As Ricciardo crosses the final couple corners, the kind of zigzags, and bang, Daniel Ricciardo wins his first race of the season at Lando's expense. We're going to have to check the parts that we gave to him, because I don't even know. I thought I only gave him 1 part. Maybe it's just destined. I mean, he has put in a 6.3 compared to Lando's 3.7, but I mean, Lando's going to have an inquiry about this one, that's for sure. Hamilton wasn't too far behind either. He must have had a bit of pace about him, which, I mean, good for him, I suppose. Ocon crashed out earlier in the race, I forgot to mention. Bottas making his way up the grid as well, which is, you know, he's starting to recapture more of that Mercedes form. Both Aston Martins, interestingly, out of the top 10, out of the points. George Russell in 6th, Hulkenberg down in 7th after he led this race briefly. I believe it was this race. When you record two races a day, it does get a bit confusing, but I believe he's leading this race. And yeah, that was the Monaco GP. Daniel Ricciardo did get a 10-second time penalty for that corner cut, but it hasn't put him behind Lando, so he must have served it throughout the race somehow. I'm not really sure when that penalty was served, because I don't remember him saying there 10 seconds for a pit stop. If he got 10 seconds at the end of the race, he would have been overtaken by Lando. So, I don't know, that's a strange one. I don't know if he served that penalty, if I'm being completely honest. But let's have a look here. There it is, Ricciardo back on the podium, and he's taken the Lando Norris spot. They've actually renamed the top step to Lando Norris, and I say that with Lewis Hamilton staring straight at me. Yeah, that top step's named after you, buddy, don't worry. But Lando and Ricciardo back on the podium. It's beautiful to see. Of course, I'm still up there with my cute hat. And yeah, Lando looking a bit envious there, though Ricciardo's on the top step. It's going to be very interesting to see how this develops throughout the season. Alright, so the post-race screen, yeah, 100% chairman happiness. Lovely to see. We actually lost money that weekend. I'm not entirely sure why. We never usually lose money. We gain at least 400,000, but straight away we're going to go to fit parts here. I'm very interested. So, no, we gave Lando the better brakes, so I switched to brakes. Maybe I left the gearbox the same? Yeah, I did. So that entire performance from Ricciardo, that beast in qualifying, the beast in the race, was because we improved his gearbox to be 35 performance better than Lando. That just goes to show how important it is to have good parts on your car for different tracks. Wow, okay, well that explained, I suppose. I mean, I guess we keep it like that for now, just to give Ricciardo a chance. It doesn't really explain the drop-off from Lando. Why did he qualify 5th if he had the same gearbox that he had last time? Because he always had the 1.521. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting, but maybe a really good weekend for Ricciardo and a bad weekend for Norris just made it. Yeah, interesting. But I clearly perfected the strategy. I'll take credit for it. Why not? No one has a problem with it, so may as well. We did do pretty well in the rain and to start on the soft side. But as you can see there, 4 wins for Lando, 1 for Daniel Ricciardo. So that will be it for this Monaco GP. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video. It helps the videos out massively. And consider subscribing if you're not already. Leave any thoughts, feedback, suggestions about the series down below in the comments section. You will be featured in tomorrow's video. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more Motorsport Manager.